Most people don't fail financially because they don't earn enough. They fail because of avoidable mistakes, habits and decisions that quietly drain wealth year after year. In this video, we're going to break down the 7 biggest money mistakes that keep people broke, why they happen, and how to avoid them without feeling deprived. These aren't rare mistakes. They're common, relatable, and most importantly, fixable. If you can avoid even 2 or 3 of these, your financial life changes dramatically. Mistake number 1, living without margin. Margin is the gap between what you earn and what you spend. No margin is no progress. If 90% of your income, for example, goes to bills and lifestyle, you're financially fragile. One emergency can wipe you out. Here's why it happens. Fixed costs are too high. Fixed costs are things like housing, your car, subscriptions, consistent monthly payments that you owe no matter what. Another reason why low margin can happen is lifestyle inflation after raises. And a third reason is social pressure to upgrade. Here's why it's dangerous. Without margin, you can't save, invest, or handle surprises. You're always one step away from stress. Here's how to fix it. Cap your fixed costs, if you can, at 50 to 60% of take-home pay. Automate your savings first and then spend what's left. And an important thing here is to audit your subscriptions quarterly, every 3 to 4 months. For example, if you earn, say, $5,000 a month, but you spend $4,800, you have $200 left. If you're able to drop housing by $300 or car by $200, find another $200 in subscriptions, and suddenly you have an extra $700 of margin. That's $8,400 a year for savings or debt payoff. And I know it's easier said than done, but that's just an example. Mistake 2, treating debt like normal. This is so huge, especially for Americans. Debt isn't just a payment, it's a wealth killer. Every dollar to interest is a dollar that can't build your future. Here's why it happens. Everyone has a car loan mindset. Taking a car payment is the normal, but it's an absolute mistake financially. Another reason why it happens is there's easy credit access. Credit companies do this on purpose. It's easy to spend money that you don't have. The third reason is emotional spending. Spending on things because of an emotional, often impulse decision. Here's why it's dangerous. These things, especially debt, create golden handcuffs. You can't pivot careers, you can't take risks, or handle emergencies without stress. Here's the fix. Pay off high-interest debt aggressively. Avoid financing depreciating assets, like a car. Use debt only for strategic investments. Home, education, skills. Things that will pay off long term. Here's an example. A $500 car payment at 6% interest costs $30,000 over 5 years. That same money invested at 6% could grow to $35,000. That's the hidden cost of normal debt. Mistake number 3, saving last instead of first. Most people save what's left. Spoiler, there's never anything left. Here's why it happens. because there's no automation. Spending expands to fill your income, and often there's a lack of clear priorities. This is dangerous because you'll always feel behind, regardless of how much is coming in, because saving requires willpower every month. Here's how to fix it. Automate transfers on payday. Start small, 5 to 10%, and increase gradually as much as you can tolerate. Treat your future self like a bill and pay yourself first. Mistake number 4, ignoring irregular expenses. Car repairs, medical bills, holiday vacations, these aren't surprises, they're predictable irregulars. This can happen because you don't have any sinking funds or an account established specifically for these expenses. It can also happen because of over-reliance on credit cards. Again, it's so easy to spend money that you don't have. The credit companies want that to be the case. Another reason why ignoring irregular expenses can happen is because you're underestimating your actual annual costs. This is dangerous because every irregular expense feels like an emergency. This leads to debt cycles and stress emotional decisions. Here's how to fix it. Create a sinking funds account for car, travel, gifts, etc. Automate a $25 to $50 deposit per month into this account. Label the account clearly to avoid temptation. This is my sinking funds account for unexpected but expected bills. Here's an example. $50 a month put into a sinking cost fund for, say, medical expenses is $600 a year. That's a good chunk towards one major expense without stress. Mistake number 5, chasing status over stability. Upgrading lifestyle for appearances, cars, clothes, gadgets, kills your margin. Why does this happen? It happens because of social media pressure, comparison with peers, and more than anything, because of emotional validation. Remember, these are normal, common human characteristics. But it's dangerous because you trade freedom for optics. Every upgrade locks you into higher fixed costs. So what's the fix? Define your own enough. My father often told me, you never have enough until you believe that you do. Spend on what matters to you, not what signals success. Delay upgrades by 90 days to test if you really want or really need them. This gives your brain time to analyze the decision and will cut a lot of your impulse spending. Here's an example. A $1,200 phone upgrade every year versus every 3 years saves you $2,400 every 3-year period. That's a vacation or a chunk of debt payoff. Mistake number 6, not tracking anything. You can't improve what you don't measure. Here's why it happens. It happens because overwhelming budgeting advice is out there and ready to see. It also happens because there's a real fear of facing reality. It can also happen because of a lack of simple tools. Not tracking anything is dangerous because without tracking, you naturally drift. And more importantly, you don't know if you're improving or falling behind. A simple fix is to track 3 numbers only. Track your savings rate, your net worth, and your fixed expense ratio. Update yourself monthly. It only takes 10 minutes. Mistake number 7, thinking income alone will save you. High earners often feel broke because structure matters more than salary. Lifestyle inflation, a lack of automation, or no margin. High earners feel these just as often as low earners. It's dangerous because you assume more money is more freedom. But without structure, more money is just bigger obligations. Here's the fix. Build systems before chasing raises. Use your extra income to boost your savings before your lifestyle. And focus on leverage, skills, investments, over endless hustle. Here's a simple example. A $20,000 raise used for lifestyle adds zero wealth, but a $20,000 raise used for savings and investing accelerates your financial independence. Avoid these 7 mistakes and you'll feel the difference fast. You'll have more margin, less stress, and real progress. Remember, wealth isn't about perfection. It's about avoiding the traps most people fall into and building habits that stick. Start with one fix today. Compound happens quietly, but it changes everything. If you've made it this far, thank you. And please consider subscribing